Hi guys, quick update. I just talked to my brother. It actually was a civilized conversation. There was no yelling, there was no screaming. I tried really hard to not put the blame on him. I do quite a bit put the blame on her mom, who just will not talk to her, doesn't really have anything to do with her, has brought in another child after she kicked her out um, to raise, is helping out her sister. Um, and basically just doesn't want to have anything to do with Talia because of her behavior, which sucks because it's not an isolated thing. It's been, she's seen her since she was 10 years old. She's now 12, maybe a half a dozen times. And the half a dozen times have been bad. Yeah, it's just sad. And with Jamie, Jamie twice he's once got kicked out of the house with her and once left with just the clothes on his back. And both times it's taken him about 6 months to see the kids or to see Talia. Um, so literally, this has been going on almost her entire life. All that she would remember, the trauma, is just kind of sitting on top of each other. And Jamie's right, because he's a guy and she's a girl. It is really hard for him to do anything. Yeah, if he was a guy, he could get him up out of bed a little bit easier, probably. But because he's a girl, he's trying really hard not to overstep. Um, you know, he doesn't want accusations made from her. Um, and she knows how to manipulate. She knows how to overstep everything. Like, she's just not listening. So I've said to him, I will look into immigration. I will see what I can do on this side. I know that. So, in his regard, he would rather send her to me where he knows it's family and I'm willing to do it and she will be loved and taken care of than send her to CPR or something like that, where he basically feels like she's being sent to the wolves, is the way he put it. He doesn't know them from a bar of soap. They've got a whole bunch of other kids they have to deal with. So I get it, 100%. And you know what? I would probably be the same. I'd rather send them to family than I would to these institutions. But in the end, I might not be able to give her the help that she needs either. And mine's not a quick fix because regardless of whether or not she can come here, it's still going to take like 5 or 6 weeks for anything to get put in place. And we don't want to lose her in that 5 or 6 weeks because things are spiraling out of control so much. So I've said to him the first thing he needs to do is he actually needs to go to that. He needs to call the school on Monday morning and say to the school, please can I have a meeting with her teacher and the principal? I need some help. We need to talk about Talia. Because he missed the parent teacher interview. She didn't get to go on a school trip. All these things are because she's not bringing things home. And to the school, he will look like a dad that doesn't care. Because that's what will be getting back to them as well. Like, she got in trouble at school. He got pulled in. But then the consequences were only at school. The consequences didn't fall through at home. She was able to go out, have friends, and that's the thing is he said, okay, no more friends allowed at the house. She's kind of done that. She did just say on the phone just now, I'm gonna have my friend's just gonna come up for a second. And so he was getting upset because that's not what he wanted. They're not supposed to be coming up at all. Um, but yeah, she's kind of she has respected to not have the friends come up, but then she's never home. So yeah, he said she's probably gonna get pulled into the office for skipping. Um, yeah, that's probably gonna happen. So we said, yeah, so he's gonna try to get to the school. I said, this is your first point of call. Like, they can help you. Like, you just tell them that you love her and you're worried about her and stuff like that. And he 100% is. He knows that it's gone far enough now, um, and something needs to change. So, he's kind of seen her hit rock bottom without her actually hitting rock bottom. So yeah, I hope it was encouraging to him He did keep saying, if it's gonna turn everything custard for you, it's only because you've said it. This is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. Tanisha's willing to sign off on anything, especially she really wants her to come to you as well. So I get it. I'm not super nanny. I'm one person. I don't know if it's going to make a difference. Obviously, I can more easily turn my life upside down right now as a person who is single than I could if I was in a relationship, or had children of my own, obviously. Yeah, it's all really, really tricky. But yeah, I told him if he goes to school, try to do that this week. I'll try to do immigration this week and just find out whether or not that actually is something that can happen, because there is a possibility it can't happen. Like I said, I might have to tell immigration. His health is bad. And I did say to him when I was talking to him, I want you to take the time. If I take her, I do want you to take the time to get your life sorted out, to get your health sorted out, to get a stable place to live. Because all that would help, obviously. And the stronger he is with his health, then maybe the stronger he'll be to be able to put things in. Because he said he doesn't want to fight with her, and he knows that he needs to be stronger, but he doesn't want to have all these arguments, especially with mom there as well, and get her health in a bad spot. But then his health is in a good spot either to be having those fights with Talia, because then his stomach plays up. He gets his wicked migraines that he is literally in fetal position on the floor with. I've seen those migraines, and literally you don't ever want to see somebody you love in that amount of pain. And that is what happens when things just get too much for him. And he's just vomiting all the time. I don't think his health is as bad now. He's getting things under control a little bit with medication and stuff. But like I said, his doctor's just leaving his practice and closing the practice. It's taking him ages to find this doctor, and now he's got to go find another doctor, and he's in the middle of trying to get on disability for his health. Yeah, it's just crap. And so I get it, and he's struggling. And I want to be able to help him. And obviously I want to be able to spend time with my niece. I do feel guilty that I'm on the other side of the world and I don't get to spend time with them. And I've always said, hey, I'd love them to come here for a year for schooling. I'd love them to just be able to do it. And now I'm kind of eating my words back because I'm getting the child that's the most difficult. But I was that child too, who was tampering with drugs, who was tampering with alcohol. I've been in the situation where I have been reserved from it, but then also in it, because I had the friends that were hardcore into it, and their parents would have been struggling just like Jamie. I can remember that youth, being on the outside of those kids, because I was the only sensible one, but also being a little bit in with them as well. So, anyways, that is what my conversation was, and now I am going to try to finish my coffee, which has gone cold, and head off to work. But overall, it was a good conversation. I don't feel super stressed about it. I feel like he's listening. And now I just have to hope and pray that he will actually go to the school and do something about it. So, thanks for listening.